welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and this channel is chronicling my journey of living my best life with multiple chronic health conditions. Today, finally, I am going to be talking about my new portable oxygen concentrator, the Inogen Rove 6, and how it compares to the Inogen G4. First, just some background. If you are new and you have not watched my oxygen story that I posted a couple years ago, probably now, back in 2020, I had multiple episodes of bilateral pneumonia, and the second time I was hospitalized while I was sort of just walking back and forth in the room. My oxygen was dropping into the low 80s, so I was put on home oxygen, and that sort of evolved into trialing it to wearing it not only when I was sort of walking around, but wearing it 24/7, and the improvement in my quality of life was just humongous. It was completely night and day. We are not sure why. A lot of times my SpO2 or my pulse ox will be normal. We do know since then that I do have problems extracting oxygen during exertion, and I have definite symptoms when I am off of the oxygen. I will get a headache, my coloring will be poor, I will look more gray instead of sort of pinkish. I will be very fatigued, sort of lightheaded, and more like, not confused, but sort of slower thinking. And all my providers at this point are sort of like, if it's helping you, like, we're not gonna argue with it. Like, we don't understand why, but if it helps, use it. So I do use it. I will turn it up if I do like a heavy day of, back when I was going to the gym, I would turn it up at night, because if I do not, my muscles will twitch through the night and it will be uncomfortable and I won't be able to sleep. So I sort of titrate it as needed, but not based on my pulse ox, but more on my activity level and my coloring. I've had people, back when I went to a music festival a few years ago, I was staying with a friend and she was like, ooh, like you're not looking good, like you're looking kind of gray. And I turned my oxygen up and then I looked more pink colored like I am now. So that's sort of the backstory. I do own all of my own equipment. I do not rent them. This is not through insurance. This is all out of pocket. Yeah, so after getting that out of the way, let's look at the two machines, how they compare, and the different devices I use to carry my new Rove 6. So as you can see already from the background, they are dramatically different sizes. The Rove 6 also has filters on both sides, whereas the G4 only has one. I will say I bought the G4 from a third-party company, whereas I bought the Rove 6 directly from Inogen, and with the Rove 6 I do have a lifetime warranty, so I will never run into the same issue as I have with the G4, which I have not been able to open. I have tried to open it up, but I just can't figure out how it opens. I can see what's rattling, but I can't get to it to see if I can fix it. I wouldn't trust it anyway, but that is the G4, this is the Rove 6. Trying to be careful not to break the filter when I am holding it. I need to keep reminding myself there's a filter on both sides. The screens are very similar. The Rove 6 will show you the percentage of battery you have left and the amount of time the battery has left. The batteries are also dramatically different in size. Obviously, with the Rove 6 being a bigger machine, their batteries are bigger, and their batteries are basically twice the capacity as the G4. So this double battery, they call it an extended battery for the Rove 6, gives me about 10 hours on a setting of 2. The Rove 6 does go up to a setting of 6, which is nice, because when I would exercise with the G4, it only goes up to 3. So again, with whatever is going on, it would be nice to sort of have the flexibility to increase that during exertion as well as when I get home, and I can sort of turn my larger Inogen at home machine up as well. I have not experimented with that because I haven't really been out and about with the Rove 6, just because of a lot of other things going on with work and not feeling well and all of that stuff, but hopefully that's changing. I'm supposed to go to a concert tomorrow, so we'll see if that happens. But the batteries go on very similarly. It just slides on. It is significantly heavier, which is an issue. And I will talk about how it's an issue and how I'm sort of getting around that issue. But yeah, it is definitely heavier. And it has the same columns. I'm not going to take it out of the Rove 6 because I don't want to mess anything up, but these columns are what concentrates the oxygen, and they are not for the lifetime of the machine. They last about 12 to 18 months, and they do need to be replaced. And I believe Inogen said for the Rove 6 they're $118, which I actually think is cheap. I don't know why I keep thinking they're more expensive for the G4. I haven't looked, but that's about how much I was told they cost for the Rove 6. The Rove 6 does have different packages you can buy it with if you're getting it straight from Inogen. I got the one with the single battery, extended battery, and then I got a lot of extras. I got another cannula just in case the cannula were to break in some way. I don't have to scramble to have Inogen send me out one. I have one on standby. I wanted another filter, but since the filter is covered by the lifetime warranty, they would just sort of like send me out one. I still might just buy another one just in case. It's always nice to have a backup, especially for things that aren't that expensive. The filter is only $25. But the whole set, the machine, the single battery, the double battery, the cannula, I did get an extra wall charger as well as an external charger that just charges the battery. That is on back order. They did not tell me that when I ordered it. I would have still ordered it, but it would have been nice to know. That is on back order, but all of that together was about $4,500. Not what I was expecting to spend. Obviously, that was not in the budget. But obviously, with the G4 breaking, the company I bought it from was not being all that responsive. I had to make a decision and make one quickly. So I just made the decision to go with the Rove 6. As far as how I wear or carry the Rove 6, I have a lot of options. Unfortunately, that's one of the more expensive things I had to do as well, whereas if I would have just gotten another G4, I could have used all of my same like book bags and hip bags and everything like that. With the Rove 6 being so much bigger, they're just not compatible in the slightest, so I had to buy everything all over again. Some of this is going to look familiar from my previous video on traveling with oxygen, which I will link down below. I might even sort of redo this ending part of the video into its own video, just so that people can find it easier. But I want to have it all in one spot for now, at least. So this is the same bag I showed in that other video. It is just a book bag, but the oxygen concentrator goes in here. It unzips. Goes in here, you zip it up, and it is like a full book bag, meaning you have the part that carries the oxygen, and then you also have a regular book bag. If you were, I don't know, going to the beach or something like that, and you wanted like everything all in one. I normally use this if I was going to like doctor's appointments and I was bringing my laptop with me or my binder with me, and I wanted like everything compact. I didn't want to have multiple bags I was carrying. I would use this. And then it does have a little water bottle carrier on this side also. I normally don't use that because it makes it really lopsided. But yes, this is nice to have just in case you want to have everything sort of compact. Problem is, of course, when you get to your destination, you don't really have any place to sort of like put the oxygen if you want to like take stuff out of the bag. I don't know. Another reason I don't use it is there's not like a good place normally to put it. You can't carry your oxygen with you elsewhere because it's in this big bag. Whereas the other options I'm going to show you, you can have a regular book bag and the other option, and then you can wear the oxygen and just take what you need out of the book bag and still go about your day. Next, this is the bag that comes with the Rove 6. It is a hip bag, not a hip bag, an over-the-shoulder bag. So you wear it like this, and as I said, the Rove 6 is heavy. This was rather painful. Part of that might just be because of my whatever is going on neuromuscularly with me. It was very difficult, it was painful, just because even though it's just resting on your like traps and your shoulders, you're still using your muscles to like keep everything like together and balanced. So my muscles were very, very sore when I was using anything over one shoulder. So I knew I wasn't going to use this, but that being said, it does have sort of this front pouch if you wanted to put like a credit card or your driver's license. You only want it to leave with this. And then on the back, they do have sort of like a carrying thing where you set the Rove 6 in kind of almost like an open suitcase. It's just sort of like an L shape, almost like the things at like a bellhop thing almost, but shorter in the front. Just you set your Rove 6 in it. This can like go on the handle, or like you would do with a backpack and a suitcase. So that's nice, something to keep in mind if you are able to tolerate it like that. And it also opens from the bottom, so you don't have to take it out to change the battery, which is very nice. Though with the long batteries, the single getting 5 hours and the double getting 10, you're often probably not going to need to change the battery a lot unless you're going on like a long distance flight or you're not having them fully charged before you go out and about. Next, this is the hip bag. This is what I will normally wear if I'm going to like a concert or something like that, where I don't really need to carry much with me, but I need the oxygen and maybe like my keys, my credit card, my driver's license, and that's basically it. Again, it does have a pouch in the front. It has the opening on the bottom. This is where the machine goes in. It has this extra piece here, depending on if you are using the single or the double battery, so that everything lines up. So if you needed to plug it in the AC to charge, there is a hole here that will go to charge it. If you want to have it plugged in and charging either in the car, because it does come with a car charger, or into the wall, you can do that and not take it out of the bag. And then it has these side pockets where you can store, again, keys, credit cards, driver's license, that sort of thing. What I don't like about this hip bag compared to the G4 is the batteries that do not fit in the side pockets. So this is really, you know you're not going to need an extra battery, or you have an extra battery in like another bag you have with you. But yeah, so this is the hip bag. It does come with this like over the shoulder thing as well. Again, I will not be using that. It is too heavy for me to use that comfortably. Lastly, we have what I use on a day-to-day basis, and that is a book bag. This is not specifically for the Rove 6. It is for like the G3 and the G5, so it's not perfect. This is where the cannula is supposed to go. As you saw, that is not where the cannula is on the Rove 6. The cannula is on the top. But what they do have is Velcro that you can unzip and put the cannula through, which works with the single battery. It does not work with the double battery because it's too tall. So for the double battery, I just end up leaving it sort of like unzipped a little and it can like just stick out. Obviously not ideal, but like I said, I like this type of book bag because it is just for the Rove 6. This also has a feature that I like, which is this bottom section here actually unzips and comes completely off. So if you needed to carry things with you, you can put them in this section and just connect it and it's with you all the time. They both have sort of plastic feet on the bottom, so that's really nice. The downside is there is no zipper here to change the battery. So you do have to take it out to change the battery, which definitely not a fan of. I had to do that yesterday and it's kind of a pain, but it's worth it to just have what they call is a light book bag. It also has this little thing on the back, let me see if I can get the lighting, there we go, that you can put the cannula through so it's sort of not dangling, but I haven't used that because again, this isn't made for the Rove 6, so things just don't line up right. I also don't understand why it's on the opposite end as where the cannula is supposed to be going. That's a little weird to me, but you can definitely make it work with the Rove 6, so I'm not complaining. And I think that is all. I'm sorry this is a longer one, but hopefully that is educational for someone out there who's thinking about the Rove 6 or didn't know there was a Rove 6. I know I didn't. And it gives you some options for different ways to carry it as well. I will try to link all of that down below. And with that, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.